Stay. The 8th book is small, 4 chapters. No miracles that shake the sky, no armies, no fire from heaven, just loss. Famine empties a land, death empties a family. Naomi is left holding grief like a name she didn't choose. She says, "Don't call me pleasant, call me bitter." Because faith does not erase pain, it carries it. And Ruth stands beside her, a foreigner, a widow, an outsider with no obligation to stay. Every reasonable voice says, "Go back." But Ruth says something radical. "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your God, my God." Not a sermon. Not a vow made at an altar, a decision made in the dust of loss. Ruth doesn't know the ending. She doesn't see redemption coming. She just stays. She works quietly in fields that don't belong to her, gathering leftovers, gleaning grace. And Boaz notices her not because she is loud, but because she is faithful, because kindness still stands out in a harsh world, and the story turns. Not suddenly, not dramatically, gradually. The foreigner becomes family, the widow becomes secure, the forgotten becomes named. Ruth gives birth not just to a child, but to a lineage. David will come from her, and later, Christ. Redemption arrives through ordinary obedience. Now, 8th book again. New Testament, 2 Corinthians. Paul writes not to impress, but to defend his weakness. He is criticized, questioned, doubted, and instead of proving his strength, he confesses his limits. "I am weak." That is not how leaders are taught to speak. But Paul understands something Ruth lived. God works best where pride has been emptied. Paul says he asked God to remove the thorn 3 times. God said no, because grace does not always remove pain. Sometimes it redeems it. My power is made perfect in weakness. Ruth had no power, no status, no protection, just faithfulness. Paul had no ease, no applause, no guarantees, just obedience. 2 Corinthians is a letter written with scars still open, yet generosity flows from it. Paul encourages giving. Not from abundance, but from trust, because God doesn't need what we have. God wants what we withhold. Ruth gave loyalty, Paul gave himself, and both learned the same truth. You don't have to be impressive to be essential. You don't have to be strong to be used. Ruth changed history without knowing it. Paul changed churches while trembling, because God's redemption does not depend on visibility, it depends on surrender. Ruth stayed when leaving made sense. Paul endured when quitting felt justified, and God wrote eternity through both. The 8th book reminds us, faithfulness is not flashy. It is choosing love when it costs, choosing loyalty when it's inconvenient, choosing obedience when results are unclear. Ruth didn't know she was stepping into prophecy. Paul didn't know his letters would shape generations. They just trusted God with what they had, and that was enough. Because God doesn't need your strength. God needs your yes, your staying, your showing up, your quiet faith. The 8th book whispers what the world forgets. Redemption often enters through the back door of ordinary faithfulness and weakness. Fully surrendered, becomes the birthplace of grace.